Alright, so this is my She-Hulk episode 4 review. So it starts off with Donny Blaze doing a show and just failing so badly at it. And he calls on a volunteer, and hence we meet Madison, who apparently her only line really is having some fun with the fact that her name isn't spelled the usual way. And always being drunk. Anyway, so she, and based on the post-credit scene, I'd say she's an alcoholic. But anyway, so, she goes up there and Donnie Blaze tries to do the usual magic, which, oddly enough, he does better at creating chaos than he does regular magic. You know, the fake magic. And I say that because, well, this is a universe where magic exists. So, he gives her roses, which they couldn't even be bothered to get fake flowers that at least smell like roses, because those exist. And he opens a portal with the sling ring, which my first response was, wait, why does he have a sling ring? So he opens a portal and pushes Madison through, because considering her response of ew, I don't think she voluntarily went in there. And she even told Wong when she reappeared that he pushed her in. So the only way she got out was she made a pact with a demon. And she ended up with Wong. Possibly this demon knows Wong and knows that Wong is the one that can help her. And so then she's talking to Wong. She notices he's about to watch Sopranos and decides to spoil things for him. But in her defense, she's still drunk. So he's kind of unhappy. And he asked about a magician. He goes, so a first-rate magician did this, and she goes, not exactly. Or maybe she said third-rate. Either way, she said not exactly. I do not recall them saying the magician's name, but Wong immediately knew it was Donny Blaze, which is, of course, a play on Johnny Blaze, the original Ghost Rider. So I've read on some comic book sites that they're considering this a nod to Mephisto. And that Mephisto has entered the MCU. Yeah, they've been saying that since Falcon and Winter Soldier. He still has yet to make an appearance. I highly doubt that he will, because this is supposed to be about street-level criminals. Mephisto doesn't fit that. But anyway, so then we move over to Jen, who's immediately breaking the fourth wall and talking about the fact that Wong's back. And how everybody likes Wong. Everybody loves Wong. And then her father comes in with all sorts of security stuff, plus a shovel, in order to protect his daughter. Now, you gotta hand it to him. He loves his daughter. He wants to protect her, and that's great. But like she points out, it's okay. I'm a Hulk. I'll just beat them up again. And so she's slowly accepting the fact that she's a Hulk. Um, and she assures her dad that, she'll beat the criminals up and he has the shovel. So, um, so he leaves, and so then we see Jen at the office, and Nikki is just wanting to watch her interview, and she's all about She-Hulk. And then Wong comes in, and Jen's like, Saved by the Bell. Nikki leaves, and Wong explains what's going on, and he wants to sue Donny Blaze. And she explains that the way American justice system, the way the American justice system works, and that without any contracts or any paperwork, that suing is going to be really difficult because it's not you can't go by the honor system, which is what Karmatage does. So they're trying to figure out a strategy. And Jen, in the meantime, while this is happening, Jen also creates a dating profile with her lawyer headshot, which is a nice headshot, but like Nikki said, it's not the kind of thing you would put on a dating site. That's the sort of thing you'd put on LinkedIn, or even if you want to put it on other social media sites, that's fine. Dating site, even I know that that's probably not the smartest idea. I mean, you're not going to attract attention. And she does get a date. And it turns out that it looks like he was just looking for free drinks, because they were talking, but it was very, very awkward. And it looked like they were both going to fight over the check, but actually he had no intention. And then she saw how much it cost. So, I love it. I'm an entrepreneur, but it was just, I know it was meant to be funny, but it was really cringy. So then she and Wong go to visit Donny Blaze with a cease and desist order. And Donny Blaze tries to be cute and tries to make the cease and desist order disappear. And she's like, yeah, it's sticking out of your shirt. Just more proof that this guy is a terrible magician. And I guess what ends up happening at the end shouldn't surprise anybody. So they walk out, and Wong gives him his ball back through his mouth, which was, weird. So, and it looked like Donny Blaze was actually trying to hit on Jen. And she was not having any, or maybe he just saw that she got a match on her dating profile. I didn't look at what the dating app was called, because I'm pretty sure it's not something that exists in the real world. So, and then the bad date happened. So she talks with Nikki, and she wants her to look at this motion tomorrow. And she's like, that's Saturday. And Jen obviously lost track of time. It's Friday night. And earlier in the day, Nikki and her were at Legalese. And they were working. And a guy was hitting on them. And they both very adeptly brushed him off. So Jen decides that at the time, Nikki suggested she makes a profile with She-Hulk. So Jen finally does do that because she's not getting any matches. The one match she did get was a loser. And so she looks through all these matches that she's getting, because she's getting tens of matches. And she finally, and then you see a montage of her meeting with these guys. And the first guy asks her how much she can deadlift. So she says a literal ton, and he then uses that as a reason to boast how much he can deadlift, which of course is a turnoff because, all he wants to do is to make himself feel good about how strong he is, as opposed to actually giving a shit about Jen or She-Hulk. Then we have another guy who is awkward, is very nervous, very awkward, but he didn't seem to be horrible. But then he calls Jen a specimen. But he means it as a compliment. I'm not sure what world he lives in where being called a specimen is a compliment, but okay. And then we get to Todd. And he wants to learn about She-Hulk because he's so sick about talking about himself. And then, things not going anywhere. Okay. I don't know. That to me is a red flag. I mean, I get that he wants to try something new. That's fine. But the way he phrased it, it seemed like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about who you are. I just want to pretend that I have empathy because I'm sick of being a douchebag from the very beginning and it not going anywhere. So I'm going to pretend to not be one. So yeah. And so she's automatically taken by the fact that he seems to want to know about her. And I'm like, how desperate are you? Really? How desperate? So they go back to her place and she steals his shirt, which that was weird. Very bizarre. So he goes to get some club soda because he spilled wine on his shirt, on her couch. So at the moment, he seems like a decent guy, despite what happened at the bar. So I'm thinking maybe I was being too harsh. And Wong, first Donny Blaze, at the time Donny Blaze is doing his show, and his friend's like, yeah, not going through the fire hole, not doing that. A friend of mine tried that, and that didn't end well for her. So then he decides to produce, I thought at first it was a dove, but maybe it was a duck, which laid an egg in her hand. And the egg started hatching. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to end well. And it didn't. There was this little, at first I thought as it was opening that was going to be a gremlin. But no, it was a full-fledged demon. And so she's freaking out, and Donny Blaze tries to throw it into the fire hole. And either the demon kept the fire hole open, or the dumb shit actually forgot to close the portal because it came back out and brought friends with it. So then Donnie Blaze goes to visit Wong and tells Wong that he needs help. And Wong explains that he's not doing this for him, he's doing this for the universe. And Donnie's like, yeah, fine, whatever. I don't care, just help. And so he goes and he's trying to call. Oh, I skipped over the trial. So first, before all this, they go to trial, and Donnie Blaze seems to get the judge on his side because Madison made it sound like it was spooky fun, and then he makes a rabbit. So yeah, the trial didn't go too well. But anyway, back to the ending. So Wong is trying to call. Actually, is Madison with him? I don't think she is. But Wong is trying to call Jen to have Jen help him. And, of course, she's on a date with Todd. So she's trying to ignore the messages. But I don't know if she saw it was Wong or what. Because, you know, how do you think you're going to escape Wong trying to call you? I mean, it makes sense what he did. He opened up a portal to her apartment. It's like, Jen, I'm trying to get a hold of you. I need your help. And Jen's like, yeah, I'm kind of on a date right now. And it's like, why aren't you picking up? Oh, that's why. I feel like your father. And so he insists that Jen come to help. And she's like, how am I supposed to help? You're a Hulk. So she starts beating the crap out of these demons, even using one as a slingshot, which I really like that one. I liked her using it as a slingshot and slinging it into the portal. So she's helping Wong, and she uses the last of the demon to scare Donnie Blaze and his assistant, I guess, or manager, I don't know who he's supposed to be, into following the cease and desist order, because otherwise she's going to set the demon onto them. And so they agreed. They're like, okay, we'll follow the cease and desist order. And you would think that Donnie Blaze should be smart enough to not mess with that again after this happened, but well, you can't assume that he's that smart because ego. So she spends the night with Todd. She wakes up the next morning, and I was wondering what was going to happen when he realizes that she's Jen, as opposed to always being She-Hulk. And so she's happy. She's watching about Titania. Nikki calls her and tells her about Titania being on the news, that she was let out of prison. So Todd comes out, and he's being awkwardly trying to escape the situation. And you're like, yeah, you're never seeing him again. Because he found it unexpected that Jen would turn back into Jen and not She-Hulk, which, I don't know. People are familiar with the Incredible Hulk. Do they not know he's Bruce Banner? Do they not know that he can, well, right now he doesn't. want to. He's staying as Smart Hulk, but he can transform back to Bruce Banner. Actually, he did that a lot of times. So, don't know why he thought that. And I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that him claiming he's a pediatric oncologist is total bullshit. I really don't think that. I think he's pretending to be someone he isn't. And just to, again, just to impress women so he can get in their pants, which he managed to do with Jen. And now he wants to make his great escape because Jen isn't who he thought she was. I guess he figured that She-Hulk wouldn't care about him being a douchebag. And when he saw that Jen was a normal human, that he's like, oh shit, this is the type of woman who, when she finds out who I am, just ghosts me or something. I don't know. So he ran off, and Jen's depressed, realizing that even as She-Hulk, once she becomes Jen again, she has the same luck with guys. And so then we get to the post-credit scene where Wong and Madison are watching, I assume, The Sopranos, and they're talking about booze, different types of alcoholic drinks. And Madison quizzing him, what, has he tried this drink? Has he tried that? Has he tried this? And I was half expecting, when she said Manhattan, for him to think she meant the city and not the drink. But they were talking about it, and that his favorite drink is water. So that suddenly that turned into, unlimited gin and tonic. Did I miss something? So anyway. Oh yes, and I forgot about the downer ending. There's a knock at Jen's door immediately after Todd leaves, so she thinks that Todd came back. No, it's not Todd. It's some guy who looks like a courier with a summons with a motion for She-Hulk. Apparently, she's trademarked the name She-Hulk. And she's suing Jen for trademark infringement. And he's explaining how trademark infringement works to Jen, and she's like, yeah, thanks, counselor. Okay, bye. No, thanks, Your Honor. And now nowhere has it been mentioned that Titania ever went by She-Hulk. I think she's just trying to screw with Jen. So and plus it's not like Jen created that name. It's not like she came up with that name. But it's nice to see that she's accepted the name. Almost seems to like the name now. But it was the public at large that gave her that name, not her. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she's going to get out of that one. Let's see if there's anything else I missed. I don't believe so. I think I've covered everything. So I will see you guys next week.